Welcome to episode 1 of A Healthy Balance. I'm Cole Fogel, and what this show is all about is improving your life one day at a time, making little micro changes to your life that ultimately become a quantum leap. When I was a child, maybe grade 1, I was diagnosed with ADHD, an attention deficit disorder. It's something where your mind is just racing 1,000 miles an hour. You have trouble interacting, with other kids. If you're a kid diagnosed this way, you have trouble learning in the school system the way it is. And I guess what I'm here to tell you is, as a grown-up, I've learned how to take that I thought was a disability, and it's become my superpower. I can take in a million things at the same time. My superpower is the ability to ingest so many things at the same time and learn so many things so rapidly, and so it's a superpower. So I want to tell you, if you have been told that you have a superpower. You have a mental superpower, and we all have our own superpowers that we just need to figure out as, once we get in touch with ourselves in a better way. I just want to talk about how you can do things to help yourself, such as, how you eat, exercising, meditation. There are things that you can do that I didn't know when I was this little boy. And if I was to go back and say, hey, Cole, why are you eating that big loaf of Wonder Bread? It's messing with your brain right now, man. It's not helping you slow down. So my point about Wonder Bread is that there are things that you can not eat and things that you can eat to help. So I think it's very important. I think nutrition is very important. I think you got to check what is your eating habits, because your eating habits will ultimately affect your brain function and everything in your life. So I think, eating habits are important, and I think exercising helps the mind and just helps you focus more. It helps, creates the feel good, chemicals that we need in our body. And then meditation slows the mind down. And let me just say about meditation, many people think that meditation means turning the brain off. And I'm here to tell you, unless you're a monk that's been sitting on a mountain for years training in the arts of meditation, to the average human being, it's not about shutting your brain down. It's about slowing yourself down and making peace with the crazy monkey brain that everybody has inside their head, making peace with the sounds around you, just making peace with whatever is, letting whatever is be whatever is. So that's the first thing. And, one day at a time, micro steps create quantum leaps, as I was saying. So I want to make this episode about my morning routine and the things that I do to help my whole day go more smoothly. And I think that's a good place to start. What is your morning routine? What time are you waking up in the morning? So I wake up at 5 a.m. and there are celebrities, CEOs that wake up at 4 a.m. They have these just crazy, incredible morning routines that they do, and it helps them get psyched and ready for a better version of themselves going into the world, so that they can create a better reality for themselves and those around them. So I personally wake up at 5 a.m. and the first thing I do is listen to affirmations. I have some beautiful binaural beats that I listen to with my headset on, and there's different ways you can do affirmations, and basically it's just saying, thank you for my feet. Thank you for my legs. Thank you for my bones. Thank you for my heart. Thank you for my strong back. Thank you for my brain. It's just basically saying thank you to all the things that make up you, that you don't even think about from day to day, that are so important. So that's the first thing, is affirmations, daily affirmations. And I go into a state of gratitude where I think about, I'm grateful for my wife, I'm grateful for my children, I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my friends, I'm grateful, whatever you're grateful for. And I spend about an hour with the affirmations, and about maybe 20 minutes with the things I'm grateful for, but that doesn't have to be you. If you don't feel like you have the time or the patience, 5 minutes of affirmations when you wake up would be fine. But I'm just sharing with you my morning routine. From the affirmations and the gratitude, I go into a meditation where I sit with my eyes closed, focusing on the breath. I did a 10-day Vipassana retreat several months ago, and I've been kind of studying different forms and different techniques of meditation for several years now. And Vipassana, basically, it was a 10-day retreat where you're literally spending hours and hours upon hours just meditating on your breath and focusing on your breath. I also like to do mantras, people talking about, your heart, centering in on your heart, because I think your heart is very important. So I usually do about a 20-25 minute meditation, and lately I've been doing heart meditation, focusing on my heart, which goes into the gratitude and thinking about how I'm grateful for this existence that I have, and thinking about someone that I'm grateful for, whether it be my wife or whether it be my children or my family, and putting gratitude towards myself and putting gratitude towards someone, and then putting gratitude towards the whole world, because I think we should also give our love and our understanding to the world as well. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be healthy and happy and safe and abundant, and this kind of gratitude. So that's a mindful meditation, but you could also sit for 5 minutes just focusing on your breath. And when your monkey brain starts activating, that's okay. Just accept the thoughts for what they are, and as soon as you realize that you're thinking, just go back to the breath and focus on the breath. The monkey brain's going to keep on going and going, but as you practice meditating every day, the brain does slow down, because it has slowed down for me. So that's what I want to share. So then from the affirmations and the gratitude, I do a meditation, and then I do exercise. So for me, I do a 5K run in my neighborhood where I run around the mountain, and I have green trees around me. Maybe you don't live on a mountain or you live in a busy city. It doesn't matter. If you don't want to go outside and run, you could jump on a trampoline, you could jump on the floor, you could do sit-ups, you could do push-ups. You get the lymph nodes going with the jumping. You just want to move your body and get yourself psyched for the day. I think that's what's important, and get the heart pumping, just get everything going. So you got your physical self, and you got your mental and your spiritual or your soulful self. So the physical is the exercise, obviously, and the mental is the gratitude, the affirmations, and the meditation. And the soulful self, your consciousness is, the meditation is, that's part of the meditation as well. And all of that ties together to make a better version of yourself. And then there's visualization. Journaling is my final thing that I do. I take a notebook and I write down whatever I'm thinking about on the paper, whatever I'm thinking about. If I'm thinking about something that happened to me 5 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever comes to my mind, I get it out on the paper. Because once you get all that monkey brain stuff out of your brain and onto the paper, you can open up space for more important things. And you can start visualizing, what do you want your day to look like? You could write down what you want your day to look like. What do you want your week to look like? What do you want your year to look like? What do you want your 10 years to look like? What do you want your life to look like? And start writing how you want your life to be, because studies have proven when you write things down, you're more likely to make them happen. And it takes about 66 days, I believe, that I've researched, that different people have talked about. It takes about 66 days to change belief systems. And I do believe that our brains have the ability, epigenetics is something that people are talking about, that you can actually change your belief system. But first you have to get into the hard drive. And that is why that's why I'm doing all of these things in the morning, to get into the hard drive, because you have unconsciousness that runs most of your life, and then you have this little consciousness that that's the flow state. Unconsciousness is interesting, because what I've discovered that when you're unconscious, you're normally 70% in a negative thinking state. which is just insane to me, and only 25% positive. And these are both in an unconscious kind of almost habitual program state that we live in. And then you're only left with 5% of a conscious, being present, being in the moment state where you're really taking things in and truly there. So what I believe is, if you tweak all of these things that I'm doing in the morning, you can take that 70% negative unconscious state and increase the 25% unconscious state up more so that you're just a happier human being. And what happens when you become happier? You become more present. And then the conscious part that's only 5% starts growing and become stronger. But I think we should aim for being more positive and less negative. So those things help change your belief system so that you can get to the conscious state where you're just a present human being, just taking in life and living like a superhero. But one day at a time, right? So I do these morning things. So I do the journaling and the exercise and the meditation and the affirmations. And then my final thing that I like to do is I go into my kitchen and I make myself, I'm sure you've heard of this, a Bulletproof Coffee. And I take some organic coffee because I like to be organic as much as I can. And I take the coffee and I make it in my espresso machine there, but you can do drip coffee, whatever kind of coffee you drink. I'm just telling you my routine. I add some Himalayan rock salt, but you could do table salt as well. The salt's good because I think we lose salts when we're sleeping. I add some coconut oil, about a teaspoon, and I add a little chunk of unsalted butter. Try to get a healthy brand, I like the New Zealand brands, but try, get a little chunk of butter. Anyway, you take a blender and you blend that together, and there's your Bulletproof Coffee. And you're getting the fats, which are good for the brain, right? You want to give yourself the foods that help your brain function better, and coconut oil, butter, the fats are going to help you feel better. So that's what I do, and that is my morning routine. And I will be on another episode talking about some other interesting things that you can do to make your life better and create a healthy balance for yourself, which will not only help you, but help you be better to people around you and inspire other people around you. I want to inspire you, and I want you to inspire yourself and others. So I will see you, and I hope you can hit that little subscribe button because I want to get lots of views on this. I want to change the world one person at a time, and I would love to hear any comments you have or any topics you would like to be discussed. So please hit subscribe, and I will see you on episode 2 as soon as I'm ready to put that out into the world. So I'll catch you next time. And remember, a life lived with love in your heart will lead you on the path that you desire. So come from the heart, and the heart will lead you in the direction that you want to go. Let's make ourselves better one day at a time. Thanks. Leave a comment below about what your morning routines are all about, because I'm always happy to add things to my morning routine. So I'd love to hear how you're experiencing your morning and things that you want to change in your morning that maybe you're doing or that you're planning on doing. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and we'll be back for episode 2 talking about nutrition and diet and different things that you can do when it comes to food and supplements and things like that. So hope to hear from you soon.